A year ago, I made $21 an hour. Real money for real work. 30 days later, $10,000 from Pixels and Promises. $250,000 this year. Should feel like victory. Doesn't. Because right now, while I'm here, someone my age, someone dumber, someone who started later, is pulling 100K months, living in my future. The one I'm too slow or too stupid to catch.
Time to get up.
Everything broke while I was horizontal. The entire outreach system dead. 0 meetings booked. Stripe frozen like they'd never seen money move before. 3 weeks of revenue just gone. Sometimes it's just preparation for rebuilding better. AI might lock every door I'm trying to open, but not today. Today, I rebuild.
And fuck this, the entire fucking email system's fucked. Oh, we haven't booked a meeting in 1 week. We haven't made any fucking money in 2. Zapier automation is completely fucking broken, man. Fuck.
I can't even eat right now because I need to take Snow out first. Take my dog out, so let's go do that. And we'll take this as the breakfast for now. It's nice sometimes to like come to a place like this where it's so peaceful. It's like, well, I don't know if you'd consider this a lake, but whatever it is, just a little pond. And just take a second to, think, gather your thoughts, stepping into nature for a bit, and just kind of taking a second to sit here and think about where you've gone and think about what you need to do next is super beneficial. That's something I feel like I'm struggling with at the moment. It's like, are the steps I'm taking now the right steps that I'm not going to regret in the future? Tricky part is there's no way to actually figure that out. The only way you actually understand that and figure it out later is by doing the step and then, finding out if it was the right one. Try your best over long periods of time and you'll be able to achieve anything you want. And that's just something I have to tell myself, something I tell to the camera, that's something I tell to, my future audience that I'm hoping to have, and something you even got to tell yourself sometimes. And also set goals so big that it kind of scares you. Sometimes I think about this goal I have of 100K a month and I'm like, holy fuck, that is a long way away. And not a long way in terms of time, but a long way in terms of strategy and steps and a big jump in terms of, revenue that you're making. If you're not going to create those dreams for yourself, who else will? In terms of the rest of the day, I don't really have a plan. I kind of just go by the flow, which is something that I said I was going to work on, but I still haven't. But now I just need to go home and prepare things for tomorrow. So
Alex Hormozi said that right now is the easiest time in the history of humanity to get rich, but it's also the easiest time in the history of humanity to stay distracted. And that distraction can easily get and put you in a point in your mind where you don't need to do a lot. You don't need to accomplish a lot. You don't need to put yourself through a lot of suffering, because everything great in life comes with an immense amount of suffering and pain. And so many times you ask yourself, well, what is the fucking point of this? Why am I putting myself through so much agony? And what could be the answer is the opposite of what is actually stopping you from wanting to kill yourself. And that could be the thing that actually gets you to push past, that actually gets you to break through new barriers. And that's just something I thought that was really profound, that I feel like everyone should ask themselves at least at once. Okay, if I don't understand why I'm here, if I don't understand, why this thing of life is so deep and I have to partake in it and strive for so much and push myself to these new levels, why do I have to do all this? Okay, so why don't you kill yourself? Well, because I want to know about this and I care about this person and I love this thing. And it looks like you just found the answer. Doesn't necessarily mean those are always going to be the answers forever, but the meaning of life can always change, and that's the meaning of your life at this moment. So I think you guys should all ask yourselves that question, because I've definitely been asking that myself. And it's definitely just given me a little bit more mental clarity and better understanding of where I actually want to be and who I am. It's just crazy, man. There's so many things and so many directions I could take this, but it's just so interesting to think at one point my goal was 10K and now it's 100K, and it does come with a sense of appreciation at the same time. It comes with a sense of, God damn, I'm really living the life that I always wanted to live. And you just start to learn about yourself in these moments. You start to learn how much shit you can take. And honestly, what I've come to learn is entrepreneurship is a game of how much shit you can take. Alex Hormozi said a really cool thing about resilience, and he defined the term of resilience. And, you know, a lot of the times you ask yourself, what is resilience? What does it mean to be resilient? Resilience is the amount of time that something can cause you suffering until you draw back to baseline. That's all it is. And what I've really learned during these past 3 weeks is that I'm pretty fucking resilient, and things don't affect me too long. And nowadays I can wake up to a notification and a message about something completely terrible and destructive and absolutely chaotic, and it's just a notification that I wipe away and use as a second thought and fuel towards my main mission. That's all it is, and that's all it ever will be. And that's the mindset and the mental framework that I'm carrying throughout the rest of my life, and that's what I'm choosing to use as my mental model. And yeah, it's just...
Hey bro, change of plans. The third segment, we're completely switching it up. My entire email outreach system got absolutely fucked. Fuck the third segment, man. We're switching it up. I gotta explain this. This is fucked.
Let's talk about how my email system went from 10K to dog shit. Well, the story isn't that simple. So to really understand where we're at now, I need to basically run you down through the entire email booking system process and how cold outreach really looks, so you can understand my pain and where the system is really at the moment. So let's break it down. This all really started when Google decided to fuck us, and I'll explain. So how does cold outreach work? Well, cold outreach is a pretty broad term. Today, we're gonna simply focus on what I do and what Google decided to fuck me on, which was cold email. So essentially, for anyone that doesn't understand cold email and how it works, I'm gonna kind of break that down so you can really understand what this actually means and how they decided to kind of ruin the entire industry for now. Cold email is an entire game on deliverability. And what I mean by that is essentially when a company launches a cold email campaign, they are setting up a bunch of email inboxes, sometimes 50, sometimes 100, sometimes 200, sometimes 10. And the entire goal of those email inboxes are to be able to send an amount of emails per day to potential clients or leads to get potential sales or actually onboarded clients. Now, how do you actually go about doing that? Well, your email needs to land in their inbox. So I'm going to create another diagram for that. So as you can see from the diagram, before, emails used to actually land into the inbox and everything was great. I had money, my competitors had money, my clients were happy, I could actually reach them, and everything was all good. But as you can see, after Google decided to ruin my life, emails are currently landing in spam. Now, what is the issue of landing in spam? Well, I don't want to have to spell it out for you, but when was the last time you ever checked an email in your spam? Probably never. This does not work, and we need to get back to this. And how did we even get here is the question. Well, Google constantly tries to update their algorithm to be able to get rid of really bad apples that abuse the entire cold email market. Now, I'm not talking about legitimate businesses like mine. I'm talking about people like scammers, telemarketing. Not that every single telemarketing guy is a scam, well, almost kind of always, but essentially they're trying to get rid of the people that use cold email to scam people. Evidently, what this does is it does get rid of a big percentage of those people, but it also destroys and really hinders the people that are using it for good and running legitimate services, because now it's 10 times harder to be able to run these effective campaigns across large numbers and not go into spam. Essentially, to kind of dumb it down, it was all an update in the algorithm. They updated it, and I could get into the weeds with, DNS records, CNAME, and
all this other tech bullshit, but let's be honest, you're probably not going to understand a single thing I'm saying. So I'm going to keep this very short and brief. So now, how do we fix this? And are we completely screwed? Well, yes and no. The reason we're not completely fucked is because we have to innovate. And the way we're going to actually be able to innovate is with this. Now, if you're not able to actually tell what my illustration is representing, this is a carrot. And I'm going to kind of make this make sense in just a moment. So bear with me. So the entire issue with cold email at the moment is obviously, as we just mentioned and we just talked about, is not landing in spam. We need to be able to land in inbox. However, since Google fucked the algorithm, we need to innovate and find a new way to land into inbox. Now, how can you actually improve your reputation with Google so that they like you enough and respect you enough to be able to allow you to continue to land in potential clients' inboxes? The short answer is you got to get more replies. Originally, our cold email structure kind of went like this. Email, Loom, and if you don't know what a Loom is, it's 2025. You probably should know about that by now, especially if you're watching these kind of videos. Loom, booked call. Now, this was working, and to be honest, this still can work at volume. However, with Google absolutely bending us over, we need to innovate so that we can actually get a system that does the same thing this once did, which is book a call, but get more positive replies along the way so that we can actually improve our likelihood of landing in inbox and not having majority of our accounts actually land in spam. The only issue with this, and the reason that it worked so well at volume, is because naturally a lot of people that are being asked to hop on a call immediately off of the first cold email are really reluctant to it. It's a little bit of a no-brainer, and honestly, as long as your unique mechanism and your actual Loom is good, it will work. However, now with Google's new update, you're either going to need to do a lot more volume to really make this work or have a really, really, really good unique mechanism. How can we actually garner more replies so that we can be able to increase our positive reply rate and get people to engage with our emails more often so that we're opening that dialogue consistently and landing into inbox more efficiently? And the way we're going to do that is with this. This is a carrot offer. And the design of the carrot offer is meant to give the consumer that you are reaching out to in your cold email a free piece of value, or sometimes paid, to be able to start beginning to open that dialogue and have that conversation with them. You've probably heard of this being called kind of a lead magnet, and that's essentially what it is. There's multiple different types of lead magnets. Sometimes a Loom is a lead magnet, but in this case with a carrot offer, your lead magnet is going to be something, a smaller service that you can actually give to the consumer and they can fully digest and actually get benefits from before they get upsold on your main offer. So essentially, this is what I plan to do to be able to garner more positive replies and fix my email system and my life, giving a carrot. Now, this is what my email system or my new outreach system is probably going to look like. The main difference is going to be that we are going to go originally from a 1 email structure to a 3 email structure. Rather than sending out 1 email and then immediately expecting a call booked, the first email is simply going to be for the sole purpose of trying to get a yes, simply to open dialogue. All we want them to do at this stage is to be able to get them to say, okay, I'm open to hearing what you have to say. Now, if that goes smoothly and if our 3 to 4 sentences are good enough to be able to achieve the yes, then we're going to hit them with email 2 and give them the carrot. Now, like I said, the carrot is going to be the first thing that they are going to receive to be able to get actual value. This carrot has to be so fucking good and so fucking tasty that they essentially have to already like us and be happy without even fulfilling on our main offer. So ultimately, our carrot needs to be really, really good. And our main goal that we are incentivizing is this, a happy lead. Now, if that all goes to plan, then we go to email 3. And ultimately, since we've given them the carrot, since they've enjoyed and digested the carrot and they actually trust us and they're starting to think, oh wow, if the original carrot offer was that good, then I wonder how good their other stuff are. That's when we're going to ask for a call booked on our main offer, and hopefully it goes all to plan and we get that really happy customer. I hope. Now, let's talk about the downsides, or in other words, what's been causing me a severe heart condition over the past week. The entire main issue when it comes to a carrot is, by nature, a carrot offer is not scalable. Now, the reason for that is because you are offering something customized. Now, let me preface, a good carrot offer is not scalable. A shit carrot offer is definitely scalable because you can kind of just keep passing them out. Some very, very simple, cut and dry, templated document or whatever piece of value that you give could work, but to be quite frank, it's probably going to be pretty dog shit. A good carrot offer is probably not going to be scalable because inherently you need to give something custom. But not nowadays, because nowadays we have AI. Now, how can I actually make this scalable? Well, to be able to make it scalable, I need an automation. Now, you might be wondering, what does an automation need? An automation needs Zapier. And Zapier, now, if you don't know about Zapier, God bless you. If you are hearing that for the first time and you have no idea what that company is or what a Zapier automation is, I am envious of your position and the dopamine that you have felt and the ignorance of cortisol that you have also not felt. I'm jealous of that feeling. I truly am. I envy the life I once had when I had no idea what an AI automation or automations as a whole completely was. Now, you might be wondering, why does Zapier cause you so much heartache? Well, Zapier equals hell/cortisol, or sometimes hell and cortisol. It can be both, or it can be one or the other. Or in other words, a severe heart condition and probably a side effect of you getting dizzy, nauseated, or potentially just wanting to completely kill yourself and completely get out of the online business space as a whole. I'm not going to run you through what Zapier is because it's so much, and basically if you're not a fucking computer programmer or you haven't taken computer science, you probably will be on the right side of humanity and you'll look at Zapier as the devil that we must all use to be able to actually automate our entire business. And don't get me wrong, Zapier is great. You know, like you can automate a lot and be able to scale your entire operation pretty well. However, when I say two words, tech setup, fuck me. That's when you're gonna really understand what the meaning of deprivation and cortisol truly is. I mean, I can't tell you what I've been through setting up this stupid fucking carrot offer with a Zapier automation. Like, it is the most grueling, annoying bullshit that I'm probably ever gonna have to deal with. And I actually hope that you guys never have to deal with it. And the time that you end up starting a business or an online business, there's some AI that can just offload this, or honestly, if you have the capital, just get someone else to completely take care of your AI automations, because you'll probably just be spending the rest of the money on hospital bills. Zapier absolutely sucks when it sets up, when you're setting it up, but just like everything good in life, you have to go through a little bit of pain to be able to enjoy the actual fruits of your hard labor. So obviously I do complain about Zapier, but once you actually get through this, on the other side of it, there is an equal amount of dopamine until something breaks and the tech messes up and you have to go back into the weeds, turn off all the lights, make sure your room is heated, put on some headphones, and just lock in on why your tech isn't working and start messing with the fucking custom data codes and start completely breaking everything down and putting mix and matching the automation and running tests. And the people that know will know, and the people that don't, God bless you. So yeah, the last 3 weeks has literally been me setting up a carrot offer with a fucking Zapier automation, and it's probably been the shittiest period of my entire life on this earth, of the last 22 years. Now, obviously, the main question at this moment is, will this actually fix my life? And the actual answer is, who the fuck knows? At the end of the day, I actually don't know if this is actually gonna fix it, and this is ultimately something that I've drafted over the last week and really spent a lot of time thinking and building out. I was really thinking about running through how I'm actually going to fulfill the carrot offer and run you through Zapier and automations as a whole to be able to explain how I'm going to automate the entire thing. But let's be honest, you're not going to understand any of that, and to be honest, I don't even know if I did a good enough job explaining the actual carrot. The real answer is I have no idea. The only way to really understand, and the only way you'll ever really understand anything, if an offer is good, if a marketing angle is good, if a VSL is good, is you have to test it. So ultimately, I don't know if this is going to fix the system, and I don't know if this is going to get me back to where I once was, where everything was going good and this building and public mission was smooth sailing on an upwards incline as I continuously was printing more and more every month until Google decided to make serious changes in the actual algorithm and ruin all of our lives. So, to be totally frank, I have no idea if this is going to work, and I'm just as curious as you are. Now, I am going to be testing this over the next few weeks, so you will kind of understand based on my facial reactions and how happy or miserable I seem, whether this is working or not. And you'll be able to tell if I'm extremely happy or extremely broke. And ultimately, this is just one more step in the entire mission of actually being able to get to 100K a month. Now, obviously this is a bit of a bigger road bump because I didn't think something like this would kind of tear me down and completely destroy everything, but just another challenge. So now you actually know what's been going on inside of my business and how our outreach system is actually looking at the moment and what actually led up to the Evident crash out. And I'm not sure if at any point I said that I fixed the email system, but if I did, that was a complete lie. I did not fix it at the moment, and I'm currently in the process of rebuilding the entire thing from scratch. That is where the outreach system is at the moment. We're currently trying to automate the entire carrot offer so that we can put it out at a mass scale and not really have to touch it. And until then, I'm gonna be praying and hoping that it works. That's basically it for now. That's my email system. Everything went to shit. I'm trying to fix it, but we'll see what happens, and let's hopefully fix this.